Mississippi State University creates an easier registration process for students that they can access within the next couple of weeks. And many people laced up their running shoes and put them to work this weekend on the MSU campus to support an amazing cause. Stay tuned for details on this and a lot more on Take 30 News.
Keeping our state informed. Broadcasting from the home of the Bulldogs. Now, from the University Television Studios of Mississippi State University, this is Take 30 News.
Welcome to Take 30 News. I'm Tatiana Romanique. Today we have details on last night's exciting Democrat debate.
And I'm Jarquita Brown. Find out how registration has become easier for MSU students. But first, a shocking video involving police officers from Georgia has surfaced. This is Take 30 News' top story. A graphic video of a man being tortured under the custody of a Georgia police has surfaced during the investigation of his theft. NBC News received footage showing 21-year-old Matthew Ajabaid being tased in the groin while restrained. Ajabaid was arrested on January 1st for domestic violence and allegedly breaking a Georgia deputy's nose during a bipolar episode. Ajabaid was found dead on January 2nd with severe trauma to his upper body and face. His death was ruled as a homicide, and an investigation of Georgia's Chatham County Jail has been underway since. So far, 3 workers have already been charged with involuntary manslaughter, and 9 deputies have been fired.
Starting this November, MSU students will no longer need a registration access code from their advisor to register for classes. On Tuesday, MSU announcement sent out an email to all students notifying them of the change in the registration. Students will soon have access to brand new systems connected to their MyState account that will allow them to register for classes and will give them the time and date of their registration as well as any holds students may have on their accounts. For more information, contact the Office of Registrar at 662-325-2023.
A Manhattan woman is suing her nephew for $127,000 for breaking her wrist. Jennifer Connell said that in 2011, 8-year-old Sean Tarala leaped into her arms while greeting her at his birthday party. Connell said in court on Friday that the injury caused her not only physical pain, but emotional stress as well. The 54-year-old woman said that the injury has made everyday activities like walking up the stairs difficult. Connell says despite her love for her now 12-year-old nephew, she feels that he should be held responsible for her injury.
A 62-year-old man survived 6 days without water by eating ants. Reg Fogarty was found Tuesday in the Great Victoria Desert in Western Australia after his brother reported him missing. After 2 days, authorities found Fogarty extremely dehydrated and delusional under a tree eating a black ant. Fogarty left late last Wednesday in search for a camel. Paramedics immediately gave him intravitreal fluids and after lifting him to a nearby hospital where professionals said it was a miracle that he survived as long as he did.
Blackjack Road is becoming even more crowded as work continues on Starkville's newest student living facility. Work is underway on the Starkville's Helix Housing. The 15-acre development began last spring just as students left campus for summer break. The brand new facility will house 802 beds once completed by fall 2016. The increased student population played a major role when Helix decided to settle in Starkville. It is part of a one-tax increment financing plan fund to build new infrastructures in the city. $4.78 million in financing has been approved for the year.
Unexpected rain couldn't stop a large group of people from raising awareness around Chadwick Lake last week. Promoted by the Mississippi State Department of Health, Promotions, and Wellness, The Pink Dog Walk was an opportunity to educate participants and spectators about the importance of breast cancer awareness. MSU Health Service set up stations to educate the patrons and host a pumpkin decorating contest. They also gave away many pink cowbells in support of the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Breast cancer affects nearly 2,000 women around the world every year. To find out more about upcoming MSU health-related events, go to www.health.msstate.edu. Up next, Lake Bunny will spill all the details on last night's Democratic debate and let us know exactly who's at Donald Trump's neck in this week. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Take 30 News.
The rainforest is home to nearly 2/3 of animal species, and almost half the medicines that we use come from rainforests. But by 2060, nearly all of our rainforests will be gone. So how do we stop it? One way is to recycle. At home, at work, at school. Recycle paper, cans, bottles, and more. Also, save energy by using cold water in the washing machine. Keep your car tuned up and carpool or use public transportation. And finally, spread the word to everyone you know about ways you can save our rainforests.
It used to be about black and white.
Things are different now. We live in a world of color.
We no longer live in a world of black and white.
I
am more than the color of my skin.
Some people think they don't have to obey the rules. But when it comes to the rules here at Mississippi State, you better take notice. Don't think you're above the law, or they'll find you. Nope. You could find yourself on the outside looking in.
Ring responsibly, MSU.
Whoa. Irresponsible. Trashy. Stop!
Here's your ticket, ma'am.
But I only have $7.95.
Don't whine. Go pay your fine.
Oh, shucks. I knew I shouldn't have done that.
Keep Mississippi beautiful. Don't live.
Once again, Trump is facing more heat on his race to the White House. On Monday, a young woman at the No Labels public event questioned Trump's respect for women by saying, "Maybe I'm wrong, maybe you can prove me wrong, but I don't think you're a friend to women," and then received a roaring applause from the audience. The young woman, Lauren Rose Batchelder, is a student at St. Anselm College and a volunteer for the Jeb Bush campaign. Trump responded by saying, "I knew I shouldn't have picked her, and I respect women incredibly." He later went on to Twitter to call her arrogant and ranted about how Jeb Bush could not beat Russia and China. Batchelder also famously questioned Democratic Bernie Sanders back in September on the issue of sexual assault on college campuses. A Republican lawmaker in Tennessee has proposed a bill that would ban public schools from teaching religious doctrine earlier than 10th grade. Complaints have recently poured in from many parents of many Tennessee middle school children in which they complained the middle school world history lessons on Islam were inappropriate. The bill by State Representative Sheila Butt would delay teaching of religious doctrine until grades 10, 11, and 12. Tennessee teachers and educational officials, however, disagree. Metro Nashville Public Schools social studies teacher Kyle Alexander said the study of religious origins can provide much historical context in today's society. There was recently a national television advertisement launched to get Vice President Joe Biden to enter into the Democratic presidential race by a group named Draft Biden. The ad aired yesterday, prior to the Democratic presidential debate. The ad featured past remarks from his speeches and photos of everyday Americans. The focus of the ad was on Biden's efforts to help rebuild the U.S. economy. The ad ends with words urging Biden to run for office, and the big question was if Biden was actually going to join the race. But all rumors were squashed after he failed to be present at last night's Democratic debate. Just one night before the Democratic debate at the Wynn Las Vegas Hotel and Casino, Hillary Clinton showed up at a protest outside of Trump's hotel in Vegas. On Monday afternoon, the Culinary Workers Union Local 226 held a labor protest outside of the Trump International Hotel, and Clinton was a face amongst the crowd. She took to a microphone and critiqued Trump's politics, including the way he refers to women and immigrants, in addition to the way he disregards hardworking Americans. The union members were high in attendance as they marched down the streets of Las Vegas with picket signs in hand, chanting, "No contract, no peace." At the time, Clinton was the leader in the Democratic polls with 45.6%, while her runner-up Bernie Sanders had only 24.4%. Well, this is all this talk. Well, with all this talk about Democrats and the big event, let's get right down to it. Last night marked the first Democratic debate for the 2016 presidential election, with most media swarming around candidates Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. This was likely the first opportunity many Democratic voters have had to hear from fringe candidates Jim Webb, Martin O'Malley, and Lincoln Chafee. Much of the debate centered around big Democratic issues such as income inequality, gun control, and immigration. The debate may not have had quite the splash the recent Republican debates had, as the five candidates did little in the way of going after each other. Instead, many took the opportunity to reiterate their stances on the broad issues. Polls leader Hillary Clinton seemed to escape the debate mostly unscathed, as she floated right through questions about her email controversy, even getting the surprise support from rival Bernie Sanders on the email scandal. Sanders spent much of the debate doubling down on his plan to take down big banks and clarifying his controversial socialist label. Outliers Webb, Chafee, and O'Malley fell to the background, doing little to draw attention from both the crowd and moderator Anderson Cooper. Unfortunately, that's all I have for you today with politics, but stay tuned for a special interview with a local businessman from our very own Rhett Sparling. We will be right back with Take 30 News.
The rainforest is home to nearly 2/3 of animal species, and almost half the medicines that we use come from rainforests. But by 2060, nearly all of our rainforests will be gone. So how do we stop it? One way is to recycle. At home, at work, at school. Recycle paper, cans, bottles, and more. Also, save energy by using cold water in the washing machine. Keep your car tuned up and carpool or use public transportation. And finally, the rainforest is home to nearly 2/3 of animal species, and almost half the medicines that we use come from rainforests. But by 2060, nearly all of our rainforests will be gone. So how do we stop it? One way is to recycle. At home, at work, at school. Recycle paper, cans, bottles, and more. Also, save energy by using cold water in the washing machine. Keep your car tuned up and carpool or use public transportation. And finally, spread the word to everyone you know about ways you can save our rainforests.
It used to be about black and white.
Things are different now. We live in a world of color.
We no longer live in a world of black and white.
Welcome back to Take 30 News. I'm Rhett Sparling here with special guest Nick Madison, co-owner of Starkville's first ever urban male boutique, Life of Starkville. So first off, just welcome. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having us.
So you told me before we started that you recently opened up just on last August 13th, right?
Yes, sir.
So give me a little bit of a summary about just the process of opening up a retail store like that.
All right, the process for us was a little different from the average person. We actually started working at City Trends, me and Greg were a couple years ago, and we worked there and we learned the system and we learned ordering and we learned retail a little bit because we never worked retail. So after we did that, we started our own clothing line, which is Chase Life Clothing. So the theory behind Chase Life is if we can get the people to buy a t-shirt, then we can probably, of course, start a business. So once we did Chase Life, we did it for 2 years and worked the marketing. We just built the audience and we built the Instagram following to like 12, 13,000 people. So once we did that, we felt comfortable and confident with starting the store, which is Life of Starkville. But that was the original idea that we had started back in 2006 to have a clothing store. So it's just now coming into fruition now.
So you built the customer base, you built the social media presence. What was different about building the actual space that you're going to be selling your clothes out of? I heard that was interesting.
Building the actual space, it was interesting because it's kind of like we use old things and we refurbished it and we used it kind of like the theory you use another person's trash to make a treasure out of it. So that's what we did, and we built the stage, we built the wall, we built the tables along with Greg's father, his friend. We had, of course, some of our people like Stephen Miller, he helped out a whole lot. And we just took our time and we stained the floors, and we just did everything by hand to give it our own signature touch.
And so you obviously built the walls and the floors from scratch, and you're designing the clothes and marketing the clothes. What is that style that is going to be coming out of Life of Starkville?
Style that we really go into is the 90s, bringing back originality to where people actually could dress nice, and it's kind of like it was the original look.
Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you got going on?
What I got on right now, I like to coordinate a lot. So I put on the gray suit to go with the white shirt to keep it classy for the interview, but I put on the plaid tie to match my Jordans, and then I coordinated with the rose gold watch to match the rose gold in the tie.
And like you said, it's all about the details. You brought in your business partner, Greg Wares, here to model another look from Life of Starkville. So tell us a little bit about what he's got on.
What Greg has on, he has our upcoming line it's a new line to Mississippi. It's called Chris Denim. And he has on the olive extended tee, and he has on the olive fedora, which both are available at Life of Starkville, actually all three. And he coordinated with the gold accents, with the gold chain, the gold watch, and he finished it off with the Jordan 9 olives. So it all coordinated kind of like a fall look. It's a simple casual fit, but it's kind of like something that's comfortable, you can wear every day, and is inexpensive.
It definitely looks like a very everyday look that, you know, will definitely turn heads even despite its simplicity. So I really think that that's something that a lot of people enjoy. Why don't you tell us a little bit about where they can find you on social media and your location of the store and things like that?
You can find us on social media at Life of Starkville on Instagram. Greg Instagram is ChaseLife, ChaseLife_G, and mine is ChaseLife_Slick. And our location is 120 North Jackson Street, Suite A, right behind Cadence Bank downtown.
Awesome. Well, guys, you heard it. It's right behind Cadence Bank downtown Starkville. We will be right back. That's all we have. We will be back with sports so that you can hear more about the Mississippi State and Troy football game.
The rainforest is home to nearly 2/3 of animal species, and almost half the medicines that we use come from rainforests. But by 2060, nearly all of our rainforests will be gone. So how do we stop it? One way is to recycle. At home, at work, at school. Recycle paper, cans, bottles, and more. Also, save energy by using cold water in the washing machine. Keep your car tuned up and carpool or use public transportation. And finally, spread the word to everyone you know about ways you can save our rainforests.
It used to be about black and white.
Things are different now. We live in a world of color.
We no longer live in a world of black and white.
I
am more than the color of my skin.
Welcome back to Take 30 News. I'm Chris Bolton here to tell you about the latest news in sports. Mississippi State University's head football coach Dan Mullen is now the third coach in MSU history to claim 50 wins following Saturday's game. Mississippi State Bulldogs pummeled Troy 45-17 at the Davis Wade Stadium in Starkville. The Bulldogs led 21-0 after the first quarter, with junior wide receiver Fred Ross scoring 2 of the touchdowns. Following 2 turnovers and 1 fumble, Troy struggled throughout the first half of the game, with State leading 38-0. Troy managed to recover in the second half, scoring 2 touchdowns, and Jess Solomon made a field goal attempt. State is now 4-2 as they face Louisiana Tech at home this Saturday. The Mississippi State women's basketball team had their first official team practice. The team spent a lot of time in the summer preparing for this moment. They are set to go for 2 hours in the first practice at 8 p.m. and will wake up at 5 a.m. the next day for a 6 a.m. practice. Coach Vic Schaefer says he wants to be in the Sweet 16 this year and will do everything he has to do in order to have his girls prepared. Senior football player Ryan Brown was named Southeastern Conference Defensive Lineman of the Week for the first time in his collegiate career. In the game against Troy, Brown had a career high of 7 tackles and 1 sack. Brown is on the 2016 Senior Bowl watch list and has started all 6 games for Mississippi State football team with outstanding stats, tallying 26 tackles and 2 sacks for the season. Freshman soccer player Lauren Bruffett was named the Southeastern Conference Offensive Player of the Week. In the home game versus Kentucky, Bruffett scored 2 goals against the Wildcat defense and also had an assist for the 3rd goal scored, giving the Bulldogs a 3-0 victory against Kentucky. Bruffett says she is blessed and proud to be a part of the young MSU soccer team, and that was a great win for the team. Steve Spurrier, otherwise known as the head ball coach, has announced he is retiring effective immediately as South Carolina football head coach. He will retire as South Carolina's all-time winningest coach. Co-offensive coordinator Sean Elliott will replace Spurrier as the interim head coach. Spurrier has an 86-49 record at South Carolina and a 228, 89-2 mark in 25 seasons of coaching. He headed the ship at Florida, leading them to 6 SEC championships and a national title in '96. His presence will be greatly missed in the sports. It's October. That can only mean one thing. Major League Baseball playoffs are underway. In the NLDS, the playoff regular St. Louis Cardinals face off against the rival Chicago Cubs. Then in the battle of the two coasts, the Los Angeles Dodgers go against the New York Mets. Also in the ALDS, the Texas Rangers play the Toronto Blue Jays, and the wild card game winning Houston Astros go against the Kansas City Royals. This has the makings to be another exciting year of postseason baseball. Southern California fired its football coach Steve Sarkisian on Monday after athletic director Pat Hayden announced Sarkisian would take a leave of absence after he failed to show up for a practice. On Sunday afternoon, in a brief news conference, Hayden said during a phone call with Sarkisian it was very clear that he was not healthy. The second-year coach had an embarrassing public display in August at a pep rally where he appeared to be intoxicated while giving a speech. Sarkisian was 12-6 at USC and has an overall head coaching record of 47-35. Their offensive coordinator, Clay Helton, will serve as the team's interim head coach. Stay tuned for Shalisha Cunningham with your latest in entertainment.
The rainforest is home to nearly 2/3 of animal species, and almost half the medicines that we use come from rainforests. But by 2060, nearly all of our rainforests will be gone. So how do we stop it? One way is to recycle. At home, at work, at school. Recycle paper, cans, bottles, and more. Also, save energy by using cold water in the washing machine. Keep your car tuned up and carpool or use public transportation. And finally, spread the word to everyone you know about ways you can save our rainforests.
It used to be about black and white.
Things are different now. We live in a world of color.
We no longer live in a world of black and white.
I
am more than the color of my skin.
Some people think they don't have to obey the rules. But when it comes to the rules here at Mississippi State, you better take notice. Don't think you're above the law, or they'll find you. Nope. You could find yourself on the outside looking in.
Ring responsibly, MSU.
Whoa! Irresponsible. Trashy. Stop!
Here's your ticket, ma'am.
But I only have $7.95.
Don't whine. Go pay your fine.
Oh, shucks, I knew I shouldn't have done that.
Keep Mississippi beautiful. Don't litter.
And welcome back to Take 30 News. I'm Shalisha Cunningham, and I'm here to update you on the latest news in entertainment. Roald Dahl's classic children's story, The Big Friendly Giant, has transformed from the pages to the stage for a performance this Friday at the Mississippi State University Riley Center. The show will begin at 7 p.m. and will feature actors, special effects, and gigantic puppets. The family-friendly show is recommended for children ages 7 and older, as well as their parents. Tickets are $10 for children and $18 for adults and can be purchased online, by phone, or at the box office from the downtown Meridian Theater. For more information, visit www.msurileycenter.com. or contact Darren Radcliffe at dradcliffe@riley.msstate.edu. LA Theater Works will bring Bram Stoker's Dracula to life on Mississippi State University's campus next Tuesday. The Los Angeles-based organization will be combining audio theater and innovative technology to present the classic production as part of MSU's 2015 to 2016 license series. The performance will begin at 7 p.m. in Lee Hall's Bettersworth Auditorium in MSU's campus. Tickets are $25 and can be purchased online at www.license.msstate.edu. For more information, contact Amelia Treptow at at565@sffairs.msstate.edu. With all the homecoming festivities taking place at Mississippi State this week, the MSU Music Department will be hosting a homecoming choral concert this Friday. The choral concert will feature performances by the women and men of state ensembles and MSU's premier choral ensemble. State singers include selections of work from famous musicians such as Felix Mendelssohn, Alice Parker, Mac Wilberg, and the works of other notable musicians. The concert is free to the public and doors will be open at 7:15 p.m. and the concert will begin at 7:30 p.m. at the First Baptist Church in Starkville, Mississippi. Musician John Ramostella, formerly known as Johnny Rivers, will be performing at MSU Riley Center on Thursday, October 22nd in downtown Meridian, Mississippi. Johnny Rivers is a blues guitarist and rock and roll singer who grew up in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Much of his music is influenced by his southern upbringing. Rivers is set to hit the stage at 7:30 p.m. with a pre-show party beginning at 6 p.m. and tickets are on sale for $43 and $37 at the MSU Riley Center box open. If you think Donald Trump ran out of surprises, well, guess again. The businessman and GOP presidential candidate is scheduled to host Saturday Night Live. The sketch comedy show is known for having celebrities guests like Hillary Clinton, Democratic candidate Hillary Clinton, made a cameo earlier in the month on the show as herself, but the appearance of Trump will make him the first 2016 presidential candidate to actually host the show. But don't worry, because this is not Trump's first rodeo on SNL. He once hosted the show back in April of 2004 at the opening of his NBC reality show, The Apprentice, and Trump is no exception to the rules on SNL. He also has a parody on the show, who is currently played by Taran Killam. Trump is scheduled to host the show on November 7th on NBC. Tuesday, the 2015 BET Hip Hop Awards, hosted by Snoop Dogg, aired on national television, announcing who the best and upcoming artists and producers were for the year. The event was taped Friday at the Buse Villette Jones Atlantic Civic Center in Georgia, and many of the biggest names in hip hop were in attendance. The awards were dominated by artists like Kendrick Lamar, Big Sean, J. Cole, and Drake, and the coveted I Am Hip Hop Award was given to Scarface. The show featured live performances from artists like Future, Lil Kim, iHeart Memphis, and T.I. In between performances, ciphers were played starring a wide range of hip-hop favorites. The show is scheduled to air again. Check your local TV listings for dates and times. And for a detailed list on the winners of the awards, visit Billboard.com. Residents from across the state flocked to the Capitol this weekend to enjoy the 2015 Mississippi State Fair. The annual event held each year in Jackson opened last Wednesday and will continue to be open until 10 p.m. evening. The fair offers dozens of classic fair food, as well as local choices from around the Jackson metro area. Guests of all ages could purchase tickets to ride any of the numerous rides throughout the fairgrounds. Children or adults could try their hand at a game of skee ball or basketball to win many prizes. Guests could get up and close in person with various animals at the petting zoo and at the hourly potbelly pig race, one of the many
each year in Jackson opened last Wednesday and will continue to be open until 10 p.m. Sunday evening. The fair offers dozens of classic fair food options as well as local choices from around the Jackson metro area. Guests of all ages could purchase tickets to ride any of the numerous rides throughout the fairgrounds. Children or adults could try their hand at a game of skee ball or basketball to win one of the many prizes. Guests could get up close and personal with various animals at the petting zoo and at the hourly potbelly pig race. One of the many traditions of the Mississippi State Fair is the free biscuit stand.
Well, I make sure everything is okay, keep the guys and ladies under control, and, just about everything, just keep it, biscuits in and out,
In the Mississippi Trade Mart, there are several classic cars on display, along with a show Mississippi's Got Talent throughout the day. Whether you come for the food, the games, or the rides, guests of all ages can find something to enjoy.
Road rides, eat all kind of great food we eat every year at the Pins. I have to put that in.
Well,
That's all the time we have for today. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook on Tech 30 News. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.